Welcome to the Creator CTO live stream. Creator CTO Live, baby. I am your host, JL Garofalo. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we are continuing to build our industry job board, sports industry job board, specifically a feature called Smart Notifications or Smart Job Alerts, whatever you want to call it. We make things up here. So we're making job alerts for job seekers in the sports industry, people who want to get into sports, work in sports. And the notification are twofold. It's a email notification. There's the layer one of this is a general email notification that goes out to all users. It's a weekly digest of the coolest jobs that I found, a curated group of jobs. And then with that is a personalized or like personalization section where we're going to send jobs that user has specifically indicated that they might be interested in. We did that last time by creating a job preferences form for the user to use. And we'll go through all this on the product. You can see what we built if you weren't with us last week when we were building the first part of this feature. And then the second part is going to be that personalization part, is the quick job alerts. When you are following a certain company, or basically if any job comes through that matches your job preferences, we want to send you an alert immediately. We don't want to wait the week for the weekly newsletter to come by, because ultimately the purpose of this product is to help the job seeker find a job, help connect the job seeker with the job holder. That's all we're doing. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Let's see, let's share this bad boy. What up, chat? What up, chat? All right, chat, this is the preferences, job preferences portion of the job board. If you've never seen this before, this is our industry job board. I should have just had this up while I was describing it. Why was I describing it with my words? And I could have just shown you my pictures. This is in development, so there are more than 15 jobs on this job board. If you don't believe me, we'll pull up the real one. 458 on 29 brands. Here are a bunch of the jobs that are available. Again, if you haven't seen this before, this is our industry job board. Sports and gaming industry. You should be able to go in here and see all these different jobs from all these different cool companies. The Score, BetMGM, Polymarket, Hard Rock Digital, FanDuel, bunch of these in here. So right now there's no there is a newsletter, but it hasn't been sent out. There's a newsletter mechanism, but the user has no idea about it. And so the way we're designing this is there's already, hundreds of people signed up for this product. And what we don't want to do is start spamming their emails, because what will happen is they'll start reporting us saying, hey, this is spam. And then all of a sudden our integrity will go down on for our website where we're sending the emails from. Whatever powers that be that control the email spam authority basically will be like, hey, these guys are spam for sure. So we want to avoid that. It's not a great user experience too. We want to introduce the newsletter to the users, let them know that it exists, and then give them the ability to, of course, opt out, unsubscribe. I'm not interested. I was just checking out the site. And then the second level is allowing them to set those preferences and then sending them the alerts, having the logic and feature that goes through the current jobs, sees which ones actually fit the user's preferences, and then send something to them. So I'm going to work with the bot. AI is going to build this for us. We're going to talk to the AI. Feedback is welcome, is encouraged, is invited. If you have opinions or ideas on how this should work, I want to hear it. I'm not saying I'm going to follow it for sure, but I at least want to hear it so I can we can yap about it. But otherwise, I'm going to talk to the bot, and the bot is going to build it for us. So I haven't gone through and laid all this out ahead of time, and that's intentional. The purpose of that is to show you how I work through this, how I work through this product work on this job board, how I'm making the decisions I have to make. And at this point with AI, where it is, it's mostly product work. It's some engineering work, but really that's mostly digging into stuff and talking to the bot about it. And so I'm going to show you the product work. I'm going to walk through it and you get an idea for it. So anyway, let's get into it. I don't know if you can hear. My dog decided right now is the perfect time to drink, so I'm going to mute. Like I said before the loud licking, here's our job preferences form. Here's the first part of it. This is how we're going to allow the user to specify what kind of jobs they're interested in receiving alerts about. Um, if this is you, if you weren't with us the last time, I brought up a scenario where, if you're a job seeker, you're typically not looking for all of the jobs, right? You're at some season in your life, and you're looking for a slice of stuff. If you're early on in your career, then the net is a little bit more wide open. You might be looking for mostly intern, entry level, associate type roles. You may not care so much about the VP direct. Like, these were other roles where you're not necessarily qualified to go apply to them. Might be useful to see regardless, but maybe less useful to get alerts about. And so we know that there are certain dimensions in which the user is actually going to really care about. Oh, these are the subset of jobs that are important to me. So that's the purpose of this form, is to try to give them the language, like an interface to, or language to communicate that to us. So I'm going to fill this out for my account here, which so full-time, part-time, contract, freelance, intern. I'm not looking for an internship, but all these other ones seem pretty all right. Intern, entry, associate. I mean, if there's a cool enough internship out there, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to at least consider. Got to keep my options open. You never know. Mid-level, I'm not really looking for a mid. Maybe there's a really enticing senior one. I'll leave that one on there. Leadership, lead. Yeah, lead. Okay, so like these are like higher level: lead, manager, director, VP. Cool. I want all those. And then work setting: remote, on-site, hybrid. I don't really care. So we'll accept all of those. And so the way we've broken up this form is must-haves. And the system is not going to include any jobs that don't match this criteria. And then we broke this up into the second form, which is boosters. We call them the bot called them soft boosters last time. I did not come up with that term, soft booster. I would never come up with that term. I would have come up with a way, way cooler name for it, and way less sexual of a name for it. Soft booster is weird. But essentially that's what it's doing. It's soft boosting the like match score, like how well this job matches to you, to your preferences. And so United States, I'm not really looking for Canadian jobs at this point. We'll go through all these. Are pretty good. Media production sounds good. I don't really want to do customer service or finance. Communication seems all right. Sales, social media, cool. Data science, content, editorial, all those sound awesome. Industry domain, all these, they all sound cool. I think you just leave them blank. Skip what you don't care about. Oh, see, we should change that so we could like select all. Let's go ahead and tell Claude that. Clear this. Okay, Mr. Cloud. What we're doing on the job preferences form. Pull this back up. Nope. That. All right. So on the job preferences form, add a select all option to the nice to have fields. Nice to have checkbox fields. So the user can indicate they're interested in all of them. All right, Cloud, do your thing. All right, so I'll add a select all, make that a little bit easier in case someone's just like, you know what, I don't care, give me all the jobs. Salary expectations, if you have one of those, you put that in here. Industry domain, if there's a particular part. Like when I came into the industry, I was really just focused on season-long fantasy sports. I didn't really understand sports betting and DFS, even though that's what everyone was talking about in the industry at the time. Learned that stuff, but initially I was like really looking for season-long fantasy football companies. So we want to give that option to the user. And all right, so here's the newsletter interface that we had set up from the previous one. If you recall, we went through and we sent a a test email, and we saw that come through in our development environment with the test email with the jobs in there. And so we're just going to build off that. We're going to make it functional. We're going to add in the logic, have Cloud add in the logic to be more smart about that like the personalized section of jobs. We're going to put that into this. And then we'll add in, we'll ask Claude to add in some nice to have so that the user can have a nice user experience from getting the email to unsubscribing to setting the preferences and all that. Gang, welcome in, chat. Welcome in. We're building with AI, baby. We're Tony Starks. Each of the 3 nice to haves now has a select all button. Well, let's see. Let's see if that is correct. Select all. Yep. They didn't lie. He's right. All right, take off finance, take off customer service. We didn't want that. Sweet, that looks great. And then down here, we have the ability to opt into the weekly job digest. And then we're adding in the instant alerts top matches. All right, so get back to here. The next step here, what do we want to do? Let's go create the newsletter. So here we sent that one. Let's create a new one. We'll add this to job alerts. This is kind of our basic, just catch all. There's nobody subscribed to it now. I think we talked about it last time. I don't remember what we decided, but we were deciding between auto subscribing the few hundred people who are already signed up and just like automatically subscribing them to these alerts and then letting them unsubscribe, or having it be where maybe we send them an email, hey, we have this newsletter section, but we don't subscribe them to ongoing alerts. We let them opt in. Each of these has a trade-off decision that we have to make here, or we have to at least consider as we're making the decision. In one scenario, in the scenario in which we automatically opt everybody in, we might have a higher chance at people actually seeing that there's this feature that we're adding that is going to be valuable to them. And so it's like a little bit less considerate to the user in that they might, there might be some people in that few hundred who are like, I didn't sign up for this. This makes me mad. And therefore I'm now mad at the product or the site. I wish I didn't sign up. And we want to avoid that at all costs. Versus that person who might have actually wanted it, might find value in it, and who doesn't remember that we exist, and because we didn't have a newsletter to sign up for initially, and now would really prefer to hear about it, but maybe doesn't want to get the spam or the recurring. We don't want to be sending spam at all. So that we'll just say that from the start. Like that's the baseline. Our goal with this is to not have spam, not be spam. In our effort to do that, we're considering whether we should auto subscribe users to the newsletter. Yeah, I haven't made a decision on this yet, so let's make a decision live. I want to hear your opinion, chat. Speak for yourself. What would you want? Would you be the pissed off guy? Would you be the not pissed off guy? All right, so we need a little preview text in here. We'll just say, we added a newsletter. Are you supposed to capitalize everything in a title? I never know. We added a newsletter feature. All right, good enough. We'll continue editing an existing draft. Now we'll make a new one. Bada bing. All right, so we can add jobs on here. It's just a blank search. That's fine. We'll have to go in. You know what? This is local still, which is good. That's what we want. What are the jobs here in local? That's production. Here's local. General. VP of cybersecurity. Let's add that one. VP of. Cool. Hey, it's JL from FYF. I added a newsletter feature that alerts you when jobs become available. Use a little voice to text thing here. When jobs become available. Newsletter feature that alerts you of when new jobs become available. It's the worst writing in front of people. Good enough. Hey, it's JL from everywhere. Check them out. Check out them bad boys. And okay, so to include that one, sweet. We'll add another one of these just for testing here. Again, we're local, so this is, we just want to see what it will look like. Hey, it's JL from FYF. Add a newsletter feature that alerts you when jobs come available. Check out them bad boys. Browse jobs on FYF. Cool, buttons fixed and everything. And so there's no personalized jobs section here yet. This is just the general baseline one. We can add a custom. Ooh, protect. Yeah, protect the genius. I don't know. Fanatics, general manager, own Fanatics. I don't know what that means. Check out them bad boys. All right, so this is kind of the baseline feature that we're adding here, right? It's just a general weekly one with a list of jobs that I'm going to curate. I'm going to pick, and that will remind the user that the job board exists. If they're looking for something, hey, here's a list of the coolest jobs that we found. Here's a little ditty about them, and then we'll add in the personalized section. So let's go ahead and add in. Let's see, this works already, right? So we got the general part down. All right, let's make the decision on whether we want to automatically subscribe someone to the newsletter. And since the chat doesn't have much opinion here, let's ask the bot if it has much opinion. We're considering whether to automatically subscribe our existing users to the newsletter. To the general newsletter, general weekly newsletter. But we're unsure whether auto-subscribing users to an email is the best practice. That's not right. I know how to do this better, but we're unsure whether we should automatically opt the existing users in or give them the opportunity to opt themselves in initially. Which path do you think is best for our use case? We're using the dumb Claude right now, so we'll see what it says. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in. It's Creator CTO. Hey, if you haven't yet, go check out my YouTube channel, new YouTube channel, Creator CTO, where I'll be doing more and more builds like this, teaching you AI stuff, how to build stuff, how to build real products, and just letting you in on the products I'm building. We're all Tony Starks now, so it's really fun. You get to build whatever you want, and you don't really have to know how to build it all. You just have to know how to ask it. Okay, so this says, for this specific use case, I'd recommend a one-time opt-in invite email rather than auto-enrolling. You mentioned this. The case against auto-opt-in preference quality problem, what is that? The newsletter's value prop is personalized job matches. Most existing users haven't set preferences. Auto-enrolling them sends a general blast that undersells the product. Dang, that's pretty good. First impressions of a newsletter are hard to undo, so you'll get unsubscribes before they even see what it can do. It's a really good point. It's kind of like it's kind of like that old principle or that old adage, like, what is it? Under expect, over deliver. Under expect, over deliver. That's it. You want to delight. You want them to think you're going to come down here and then you come up here, not the other way around, because that's just not the best experience ever. It never leaves you feeling really good about yourself. So really good point, bot. And the second point I brought up is that bot brings up, I mentioned earlier, the sender reputation. Cold blast to a large list of users who didn't ask for it will likely spike at least some spam complaints and unsubscribes, which is just going to start us off on the wrong foot. Oh yeah, and then there's the whole what's it called, GDPR, which is like Europe and UK have different rules for data and web interactions that you have to follow, and you can be breaking the law in a country you didn't even know about. You didn't even know, you never even been to. You could be breaking the law. You don't even know. So that's a really good point. We have the spam, the unsubscribe mechanism in the footer of the newsletter, which is standard. You need that in newsletters or else you'll get cooked. Okay, so what Claude would do instead is send a single dedicated, we're launching something email to all users, which is more just one time, hey, here's this thing. We're not going to keep sending this to you. It's not it's not a marketing email. It announces the weekly digest, shows what they'll get, gives them an idea of the thing, and then a single CTA that invites them to come onto the site, set those preferences, and opt in. And what that will ultimately do is give us signal as to whether this feature is actually valuable to our audience base. We can get that signal by looking at a few different metrics along this process. First one is the open rate, is how many of the people, let's say we send it to 500 people initially. How many of those 500 people open the email? How many of those 500 people who open the email then clicked through the email to the job preferences? And then how many of those people actually ended up setting their job preferences? And then how many of those people ultimately opted into the newsletter? Each one of those steps, we can measure that. And if we measure that prior to sending it out, we send it out and then we see where they go, it's going to give us information as to where maybe we're going wrong here, where the value is missing, where our assumptions are. So that's a great idea. Nice work, Claude. This way, the users who click and subscribe arrive already having set preferences, which means their first digest is actually good. They're not sending out a shit garbage one and then being like, no, trust me, it'll get better. Nobody ever trusts you. There's no trust in this world. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's go with the, what do they call it? What do you call it? One-time opt-in invite email. That's a banger. One-time opt-in invite email. All right, let's go with the one-time. What do we want to ask? How will we set that up given our newsletter system? And that there are no newsletter subscribers yet. So we'll ask Claude. Basically, what I'm asking is we have this newsletter system where we can generate newsletters and send them to our different lists. But what I haven't accounted for already is sending out this initial one-off email that isn't part of the normal, like, hey, you forgot your password, or hey, you forgot your email. That's the only things I can think of right now. So there are no newsletter subscribers yet. How would we set up a one-time email for a feature announcement like this? What do you have to say for yourself, Cloud? Papa, save. All right, Claude's reading over the newsletter infrastructure here to get an idea of what we got going on. I'm going to open up the test newsletter catcher thing. I think it's called letter opener, so that we can see when an email comes through. This is our test from last time. We got the jobs, Arby's got the meats. That's a good line. We should keep that one. This week's top jobs, cool. Super simple. We're using Claude Code as the AI bot to implement this. In case you're wondering, this is the terminal. This is like a Mac terminal, which looks and sounds scarier than it really is. It's just like, if you're unaware of what the terminal is or does, think of it like you're plugging under the hood of your car for a computer. Before computers had all this nice little layouts, all you could connect to was the terminal. It's just like the most base level entry point to a computer is the terminal, but it's all English. And all the rest of the stuff that isn't English is just terminology about computer stuff. And you can ask the bot about that if you're unsure. All right, want me to be, oh, wait, so it gave us a plan here. Slide this over so I can see it. What you have, weekly newsletter mailer, send weekly. So this one is just designed to go to the weekly campaigns, newsletter subscribed. That's how we keep track of which people have signed up to which newsletter. And so this is useless to us right now. Thanks for telling us earlier, Claude. You can't use the existing newsletter campaign pipeline because it only reaches the newsletter subscribers, and nobody is unless we auto subscribe them. And so what Claude recommends is we do a dedicated one-time mailer plus a job. A job is whenever you see job here, or if you're writing code, if you're vibe coding, a job is like a background job. On any sort of program here, it runs on a computer, on a server, which is just a computer. And a job is, it takes, instead of running it like in sequence with all the other things going on, like you hit a web page, instead of it's giving you the web page and then, you know, completing this job, it fires it, it sends it to a different computer or a different process that handles that job. And so we can do like background stuff that doesn't hold up the main response to the user. It doesn't hold up us giving them, you know, our page or whatever. We could just do it off in the background. And so really good for email stuff, right? You don't need to we don't need to hold up the server, make the job board slower while we're sending emails. We could just fire that off, you know, with the background. They can handle that. So this is a separate from the newsletter system by design. It's an announcement email, not a digest. Newsletter invite, this is the code it'll be adding. Sends to all users regardless of subscription status. I like that. Newsletter, send newsletter invites job, one-time Sidekick job specifically for this newsletter that we're talking about, or is this one email that we're going to send to invite them to the newsletter. Is that really what we want? Trigger it once from the console on Railway. Railway is the service that we use to host this. Send a newsletter invites job. So we could just run that manually from the console. That's fine too. What do you want? What do you not? What you do not do? What you do not? What are you saying to me, Claude? Don't use newsletter campaign. Don't set newsletter subscribe to automatically. Thank you. Don't add anchor to the settings page yet. A simple settings path is fine. Then email explains what to do. The settings flow from the email. The email says set your preferences and enable weekly digest, which will land them on this form here. Nope, this form here. And they'll be able to set these. Field preferences, check the newsletter toggle, save. At that point, sync newsletter subscriber runs and adds them to the job alerts list. And then we have them in the newsletter system. And when we send this mechanism that we have set up, this newsletter here, then it'll go to them. Okay. I like that plan, but I have a little bit of issue with the fact that it's like really a one-off. Like Claude is really just like no, this is a YOLO one time. It's just a newsletter invite mailer. And what I'm wondering is this just an opportunity for us to add in the mechanism to send one-off newsletters? Are we going to need to send more additional one-off or one-time emails to everybody that aren't related, that aren't the job alerts, that are more similar to this newsletter invite thing, maybe such as like more company-wide emails. Hey, we've updated our privacy terms, that type of stuff. And so let's ask Claude about that. Other than that, I like the idea. I like the path. I like where we're going. I'm hung up on this one thing is, if we have to add another one of these, it's going to get messy, right? We're going to have like we're just going to have to duplicate this stuff for another one-off email. Maybe it makes sense for us to build in a one-off mechanism into that newsletter part of the dashboard that we don't have to mix between me being the admin of the site. I don't have to go between the website, the console, back to the website, all that. So let's ask Claude. I like this plan, but I'm hung up on one issue. Dog. I'm wondering if we will want to send additional one-off, one time. That's not right. One-time emails like the newsletter invite mailer. Wondering. But I'm hung up on one issue. I like this plan. Dude, it's just I sound like Kevin from The Office. Why do many word when few do trick? But I'm hung up on one issue. Wondering if we will want to send additional one-time emails like the newsletter email, invite email, or mailer. If that's the case, would it make sense to build a one-off email mechanism interface in the newsletter admin dashboard page? So that we don't have to add new code, every time that we want to add a new one-off email. If it's unlikely that we will send that many additional one-off emails, I should have been consistent, then I'm okay not building that into the interface. Let's just take that part out. Let's see what it says. I keep forgetting I'm still on the dumb one. Remind me to change the model right after this answers. Don't let me forget, chat. I hate when it says honest take. Are you giving me dishonest takes? You motherfucker. Don't build the generic interface yet. Here's why. Lyft is higher than it looks. A genuinely useful one-off email admin needs recipient targeting. All users their preferences signed up. Template authoring with variable substitution. Yeah, basically all the stuff that you have in like a MailChimp or the Gmails. I mean, I don't even know if you have template authoring. I'm sure you do in Gmail. Preview before you send. Test send yourself. Send confirmation with recipient count. Identity card. So a misclick doesn't double send. And then sent tracking so that you know it went out. That's a meaningful feature, probably 3 to 4 times the effort of just writing a mailer. All right, Claude. Or are you just being lazy? You have to be honest. Be honest, bro. Give me your honest take. Are you being lazy, or are you for real? Because I am on the dumber, lazier model. So it wouldn't be that far fetched. It gets you 80% of the convenience. Trigger with the console at 20% of the cost. All right, Claude. Whatever, dude. I just want to hear you stop complaining. We're switching to Opus, the smarter model, the less lazy model. If the real goal is ad hoc marketing announcements without code deploys, that's what tools like Loops and Customer IO are. We don't want a bunch of more services, Claude. Okay, whatever. I'm tired of hearing you tell me no. Fine. Just leave it at that. Fine. Let's build out the mailer as planned. The mailer as planned. Oh my God. Bro, you're going to get the FBI sent to me. Don't mail anybody. Build out the mailer as planned. No, I barely know her jokes. I don't want to hear. Build out the mailer as planned. And we'll send via Rails console. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's just do that separately. I'll send it out. Mail her. What's wrong with you, Claude? 2026, brother. Let me build the mailer, the job, and the views. Nice. By the way, if you need something to listen to today, Hot Fuss by The Killers is a great album. Randomly remembered that one existed. full of bangers. What you'll get each week: top jobs, personalized matches. Cool. It's creating the copy. Pretty nice. We don't want the right copy anymore. Bots will do it. Although, one thing I will say is if you're a creator, you're building brands, that you're watching this, you probably are, or you're just interested in watching me work, maybe, I don't know. But if you are, I would be careful about the copy that you use and putting it into bots, mainly from the point of that people like bots are really good at pattern matching. And I'm sure, as you've noticed like I have, that you can start to tell when people are using the bot. It's like, oh man, you're talking too polished. You're talking like you just walked into the bank. Like, what's going on here? And I think as more and more AI generated content floods the internet and floods our eyes and brains, we'll start to go the other way, and we'll be drawn towards the copy and the things that feel more tangible, like real to us, less bot like for certain things. And like brand trust feels like one of those things. So while it might be like, oh, this is going to make my life a lot easier, I think you still can have it make your life easier, but I wouldn't change your voice, your copy, your actual copy, like brand voice, to a bot's voice, unless you're being meticulous about training that bot on your voice, not just copy and pasting it into ChatGPT and saying like, okay, do this one. It is pretty good at that stuff, but I think people are very good at spotting the patterns of how it talks. But you got to choose. It's your choice. All right. Here's what was built: four files, CashGuard, prevent accidental double sends. Sweet. And to send it, we just have to send this one thing. Let's see if that's the case. I have a couple users signed up, so on my local development, so we should be able to see if they get this via the okay, preview it first. We could do that to resend if needed, then check letter open in dev. Could I not just do all of it? Oh, if I want to preview it before I send it? I don't know. Let's try both. Pop out. Okay, looks like it's sent. Let's see. It's this one, last one we choose. Refresh. Clear. Yeah, clear. Okay, didn't see anything. Nothing. Let's try this individual. This preview thing it said. Okay, that one got sent. All right, FYF Jobs. We're launching a weekly jobs digest. Every Monday, we'll send you a curated roundup of the best new sports industry jobs, plus personalized matches based on your preferences. Right now, there are 13 open roles across 26 companies. Development. The digest is easiest way to stay on top of what's new without checking the board every day. What you'll get each week: top jobs, handpicked highlights from the week, personalized matches, roles that fit your preferred job type, experience levels, and areas of interest. One email once a week. No spam, easy unsubscribe. That's pretty good. Pretty good offer it's putting in there. Pretty clear on what the upsides and downsides are. It takes about 30 seconds. Pick your job types, experience level, and areas of interest, and check the weekly job box. I mean, that's pretty good. We didn't have to really write any of that. It just figured it all out. Loves emojis. I mean, I don't hate them here. The rest of the email is kind of plain, which is fine. I don't, we don't need to get all fancy in here. It's just jobs. Nobody's looking for this for they're not looking for this for the prettiest thing ever. They're looking for jobs. Not interested, no action needed. You won't receive this again. We won't ever talk to you, and we'll forget your number. Seems like a fair deal to me. We're launching a weekly jobs digest. Want in? Digest is that the best word we want to use here? I don't know. Chat, We got Ronnie in the chat. Said, love this dude. Love you, Ronnie. Hope you're doing well, my friend. He said, we need to catch up soon. Facts. Got to hear what you've been building. I want to hear what all of you are building. What are you building? What are you getting Claude to build? We're all Tony Starks. What are you building? I love this shit. So we got this. All right. So we got this preview email. Awesome. This one didn't send to everybody. Not awesome. We got to tell Claude about that. But it did send to the first user, which is great. And the job should be easy to fix then. If we can send it to one, we can fix the thing that sends it to many. The copy is not bad. Do we want to change anything in here? The only thing I might want to add is like a logo and stuff. Let's see. Logos on emails are kind of tricky. Emails don't really work like web browsers do. They're a little bit more limited, and that's why you get sometimes like weird fonts and stuff on emails don't load, and logos and stuff like that. So we could add it, but that's kind of nice to have. Less important at the moment. This is the first piece of this that we need. Let's go ahead and tell it to. I feel like we got to remove the emojis. I don't know. They're a little corny. Let's see. Does this work? Sweet. All right. It takes me to job preferences. Now, if the user, the newsletter invite mailer looks good, but I'd like to make some changes. But make the following changes, Claude. Let's see. Okay, what changes do we want Claude to make? We want Claude remove the emojis. Damn it. Remove the emojis, clown. They're a little corny and overused. I like the visual aspect that you're adding. Why is it missing all my, what do you call those in grammar? The pronouns. Why is Claude not hear my pronouns, man? It's messed up. I like the visual aspect that emojis brought, but yeah, they're overused. Also change the colors and style of the email to fit within the FYF brand guidelines. So this is going to tell it to just add a little veneer over it with our brand guidelines, our colors, our fonts, all that, so that it doesn't appear more like spam to the user. The user's going to recognize it. They say, oh, this is from that thing. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the first thing we're going to have them do. Second thing is if a user clicks the call to action button and is redirected to the job preferences page on the site, but isn't already logged in, make sure that after logging in, they will be brought to the job preferences form. And so this is you've definitely experienced this pattern before, where like you click a link to something, it takes you to the page, but then that page is actually like you have to sign in for it, and you sign in, and then it takes you back to the homepage. You're like, well, I gotta go back. Like I was looking for something specific here. I wasn't. YouTube does this to me all the time. Anytime I click a YouTube video and I'm on the wrong account, I then have to change my account that I'm on, and it brings me back to my homepage. And I'm like, okay, I got to go back to the link. I got to click the link now again with my new account signed in. It's a nightmare working in YouTube because you got thousands of accounts. It takes forever. You know how long two-factor auth takes on 1,000 accounts? A millennia. That's how long. Okay, so that we answered that part. If the user clicks the call, Ronnie says replace the emojis with TypeScript icons. TypeScript icons, like the TypeScript, the language, or is there a specific type of TypeScript icon? Yeah, are you telling like Ronnie? Let me know. Are you talking about when I Google TypeScript icons, I get icons 8, which is just generic icons, but Bootstrap icons are generic. If there's a specific type of TypeScript ones, let me know. we're not using TypeScript here, so that might be an extra stretch. But we can use like hero icons. We could tell it to do that. Yeah, we could tell it to use icons. Use icons if you like. There are several free icon libraries, like hero icons. Yeah, usually I'm not going to give the bot this much leeway in terms of what to use, especially when it comes to design. But for the purpose of the stream and stuff, just to show that it can pull stuff in, we'll give it the ability to choose. You don't have to be as specific. The more specific that you are with the bots, the easier and less tokens it's going to use. The easier it's going to have. The easier it's going to be for the bot to execute what you're envisioning in your mind, the less tokens it's going to use to do that. But in some cases, you might not actually you might not have gotten that far yet. Your idea might be more vague, on the vague side, in which case you can still give the vague ideas to the bot and have it make them less vague. And then you come in, you're like, okay, well, let's massage this back to what we want. But just to show you that there's a kind of a different couple ways to do this. Is there anything else we want to change on this? No, looks pretty good. Okay, this looks pretty good. That's it. Cook, Claude. Cook. FYF jobs. Yeah, if you're looking for jobs, we're talking all about this job board. If you are looking for jobs in sports and gaming industry, you might like the site that we're building, jobs.frontyardfantasy.com. I'm looking for jobs in the sports and gaming industry, which is why I built this thing. You can go in here and see it pulls in from a bunch of different brands. We got 29 brands right now. Looking to add more. If you got, I know I'm forgetting brands, and I know there's new brands getting added on here. So if you know of some brands on here that you see are missing, there's got to be an obvious one that I'm just fully forgetting. I have that feeling. You know that feeling where you're like, no, I know it's there. Like there's something, I just can't think of it. That's what I feel right now with these brands. But let me know. I can add on. We'll start pulling in the cool jobs from that place. And if you have feedback, if you do use the job board, you have feedback, please share it with me. Please. I'll give you a kiss on the forehead if you want. Only if you want. Okay, brand color is indigo. That's not correct. That's not correct. No. It's replacing everything with indigo. Why do you love indigo so much? Indigo is not the brand color. You freaking moron. Indigo is not the brand color. I thought it has a PDF with all the brand colors, but I don't know if it's going into that to see what the hex values are. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let's see, I'm gonna pull up. I do have the hex values. I could just give it to it. Here we go. Close this, and the indigo is not the brand color. The brand colors are. This one's pretty cool for any hockey people. YouTube thumbnail digital designer. I haven't seen many jobs like that. It's part-time. Why doesn't it let me click it? Why does this break whenever I go live? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Come on. My internet's slow. Or maybe the site sucks. Who knows? Could be anything. It's not a good look though. Maybe my internet's slow because I'm streaming. Maybe Claude's taking up all my internet. Okay. All right. So then that worked. Let's send another preview. That looks the exact same. Well, I didn't restart this, so maybe that's why. Stop showing me the preview, please. Boom. Look at those icons, Ronnie. Look at those TypeScript icons. A little off center. That's all right. That's all right there. Oh, look at this little yellow line it added. It's nice. It's a little nicer. All right. And it's now the brand green. I like that. Center the icons. And that's it. Center the icons vertically. Enter the icons. Come on, dude. Maybe I need to like give it a beat before I start talking. Center the icons vertically in their container so that they line up with the respective text, I guess, with the respective text. Something's going on. Something's slowing me down. I've been mainly using Claude Code in these live build sessions for the last couple weeks, but I'm thinking maybe next week we'll dig into Codex a little bit. Supposedly it's gotten better. I don't love their interface as much, but we'll see. I think they've been trying to move it closer to Claude's. Closer to Claude's. Everybody's trying to move closer to Claude's. All right, sweet. This is minor, honestly. Close enough. Close enough. All right, that looks good. So we got the generic email down. Let's go ahead and add in. So we can send that generic one out. They'll come in, they'll set their preferences, and we can measure how many of them clicked through that, got the job, went to job preferences, and then saved those job preferences, and then signed up for the newsletter. And then the last thing we need to do is set up the personalized alerts. And so this would be based off of your preferences. We'll send you weekly alerts. So let's have Cloud start to mock up a plan for this. Right, we're ready to introduce the personalized alerts. What are the best? That's the bad. What? What do we want to ask it? What do I want to ask you, Cloud? Ready to introduce the personalized job alerts. Design an implementation plan that allows us to confidently deploy the job personalization aspect of the email. Come on, bro. Mock up an implementation design. Mock up an implementation plan. I don't want to say mock up. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate you. It just inserted that right. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Design an implementation plan that allows us to confidently deploy the job personalization aspect of the email. If a user hasn't set their job preferences, then if a user hasn't set their job preferences, then show a placeholder section in the email with a small call to action to set their job preferences for personalized alerts. What questions remain before we're ready to implement this? All right. No question marks. Figure it out, Claude. You're smart enough. Smart enough to take my job, smart enough to figure out when I am implying a question mark, Claude. Ooh, staff product designer. Dude, come on. What is going on? My internet. All right, what already exists? Here's the plan. No preferences placeholder in the digest template. So it's going to add that little piece in that I added. Brand color mismatch in the digest template. It's going to update it so that it looks like our one-off email template that we did with all the brand colors. And no send schedule. Build weekly newsletter jobs, send weekly newsletter jobs, this, but there's no cron schedule or wiring. Currently triggered manually from admin or console, which we don't really want, right? We don't want to, I don't want it to have to rely on me opening up my computer, going into the application console and firing off the email every week. We want it to be regular and automate as much of this as we can so that the experience is super consistent for that value is delivered at a consistent time and it's not dependent on me and my scheduling. So implementation plan, add preference placeholder to the digest template. Excellent. Pass the has preferences flag to the mailer so that it can figure out which it can figure out what exactly to show in the actual email that we send based off of the user it's getting sent to. And third, update the digest template to be branded, use our brand colors, and then text template parity. Update weekly digest with the same placeholder logic for plain text clients. Emails, they get sent two forms. One's can be rich text for if you have like a mail application on your computer. It can take that and draw it for you, show it to you, colors and pretty and everything. But emails get sent with a plain text version too, in case the email client doesn't have all that fancy business. And I'm sure you've seen that before in your email client where it's just like all of a sudden everything looks like Craigslist. Questions before implementing. No matches this week. Show or hide. When a user has preferences set but scorer returns fewer than 3 matches, should we show a no matches this week message or silently omit the section? Showing it reinforces that the system is working, but hiding it keeps the email shorter. That's a good question. Good trade-off. Let's go through these questions before we answer them. Are you ready to schedule the digest or still sending manually from admin? The build and send jobs exist but aren't wired to a cron. Cron is it's just a process that runs on a schedule. So cron job is a piece of code that runs at a certain time, a certain week, based off of how you set it. If you're still and then number 3, should the digest email also get the brand color update in this pass? Yeah, of course. Or do you want to ship the placeholder logic first and restyle separately? Okay, so for one, what do we want? Do we want it to show no matches? I mean, no matches kind of sucks to get that, but I think that it's better than the alternative, which is, let's say there's no section in there. The person's set their job preferences and then they get it as like no, nothing shows up. It's just the general jobs. Then the person might be like, well, why didn't I get that? Is there something wrong with the system? Did it not get my preferences? So at least in this, we can give them some peace of mind why it moves it closer to what they're getting and why, as opposed to just assuming that they already know why. And and are cool with this. Ideally, they're not getting no jobs. I mean, that's not a great experience. So we should maybe keep an eye on that as we're going to see as we're building up the job matcher logic piece of spinning chat. Am I still here? Still here, chat. Let's see. What can we do? Let me close this. Okay. We're back. We're back, chat. Show me a sign of life, chat. Okay. Oh, I see my screen moving, so that's good. So, and then are you ready to schedule? So this first one, no matches in the week, show or hide. I think we should show it. I think we show it. Let's show no matches this week. And maybe, yeah, let's show no matches this week to increase the user's confidence that the system is working as expected. We could even display like a brief overview of their set preferences so that they can even more so be like, yeah, okay, that's the preferences I did set. So of their set preferences in so that they know that their preferences were recorded correctly. So annoying typing slow way. All right. Number 1 answered. Number 2, are you ready to schedule the digest or still sending it manually? No, let's just leave it manual for now. Let's leave it manual. Let's leave it manual via the admin dashboard. We'll have to set it up with like on a cron schedule eventually, but that's really easy to do. And if we have the manual way, then we can make we can just have it add in the cron way. Okay, so 3, should the digest email also get the branded colors? Yes. Yes, it should be branded. And if you're not comfortable in the terminal and you want to use Claude Code, they do have like if you open up the Claude, you have the Claude app similar to the ChatGPT app. ChatGPT has one. This one has one. It has a code tab all the way to the right, and you can work with this right in here. You just pick a folder and then talk to it in there instead of the terminal. It's a little maybe less intimidating to the non-technical folk out there watching. But I promise you, the terminal is not that scary. It looks scarier than it is. And if you're worried about it, or if you're unsure how to use it but you want to, hit me up. I can help. It made me take a lot of classes about this, a lot of labs where you just did stuff in the terminal for no freaking reason. Make a Fibonacci thing in a terminal. For why? Because you might need to one day. Okay, are you sure? Nope. Actually, yeah, we're pretty sure that that's a lie. Anyway, I digress. Good. I have the full context now. Let me check the docs directory. Yeah, go for it, Claude. Go for it, Mr. Cloud. We'll be over here looking at staff product designer. That's pretty cool. I would love to just have been like full designer. That would have been, I think that would have been a cool path. Now I'm just kind of like an engineer designer. But I respect the real designers out there. They got something I don't got. But the bots got it. So I don't envy them that much. Chat, how we doing, chat? We're letting Claude cook. All right, so once these answers, or this is fixed, or what is he doing now? I got too caught up in what I was telling you. So we're adding in or it's changing the weekly digest template right now. And then it's adding in the personalization section. So this is the section of the email. It's going to say, hey, here are the jobs that fit the criteria that you specifically set. And then once we have that, we need to tell it to implement the portion of this that generates the matching jobs. So that's kind of like the last piece of this puzzle we'll have. Oh yeah, this is the one I was trying to pull up earlier. Line Direct Live and Tape ESPN Studio. No, that's not the right one. It's this one. YouTube thumbnail and digital designer. Design YouTube thumbnails for the NHL. Focused on click-through rate and channel growth. Need 5+ experience years in thumbnail and social graphics. Bro, some hockey bro out there, this is the job for you. You get to be the guy, the YouTube thumbnail guy for the NHL. Man, that's cool. I didn't even know they hired like that. All right, so it made the plan, down to complete it. Let's go through this plan that it wrote for us. So it wrote this plan in a markdown file. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this is fine. Update mailer signature set has preferences. It's all the stuff we talked about. Yes, I'm reading it thoroughly. Of course, I'm reading it thoroughly. I would never skim this. Run tests to verify that they. Yeah, I'm not reading. I'm not reading all this. I'm not reading. I'm streaming, bro. I can't read all that. 1 subagent. Cook, brother. Cook and set us free. Well, this is exciting. Once we have this final pieces in here, should be able to then send out that initial email, get people coming in to start setting their preferences and stuff for the first weekly digest. I think I just by default set it for Monday. I don't know that Monday is the best time. I got to think about that a little bit. When's the best time to get a weekly digest? And maybe we add something in that's like, lets the user decide, hey, I want daily notifications. I want to see what's coming through daily. I mean, being on the admin side of this, I'm seeing jobs come through every day, like new jobs. It depends on the day, how many, but there's definitely a handful, at least at a bare minimum, there's a handful that come through every day. So, and the value there is in alerting them is that they can be earlier to apply, which if in the job world, in the job game, that is a portion of it. Like there's a timing element to this. If hiring manager finds somebody who really they like that fits the role early on, it's not unheard of that they go and hire that person or early on, or that that person, that interview, that candidate anchors the rest of the interviews that you do. And so there's kind of a game to it, and being early helps. It makes you more memorable. It makes you more memorable to the hiring manager based off of nothing but psychology, which is like in that game, it's a little edge you can get. Just applying is kind of like the baseline probability you're going to get if you just apply randomly within the window that they're accepting applications. The earlier you are, the more likely you are to increase your chances. And then, of course, there's other factors. You got to nail the interview. You got to show your competence. You got to be able to do the job, all that. But that's the value we're looking at. We're keeping our eye on with this feature. It's not just to alert the users all the time, right? Every email costs us a little tiny bit of money, so we don't want to be sending them out for no reason, just to sit in somebody's inbox. It's not that much money, but it's just a little bit of money. All right, so updating mailer signature to have the preferences flag, pass the preferences to the send job, add preference summary helper to the user. This feels like it's really making this a big project, but maybe it needed to. Not really sure. What up, chat? Welcome in. Dude, I gotta dig into this latency. What is going on? Oh, another hockey one. Huh, I don't even like hockey that much. Another hockey one. ESPN. Hey, if you want to work in Connecticut, ESPN's got a bunch of jobs. Sports data engineer. That's cool. You get to invent QBR. You get to own QBR. I had no idea that was possible. You get to own QBR at ESPN. That's a sweet job. These are all the new ones that have come through. You can switch the filter and see these. Front Office Sports got a couple. We got NFL, Yahoo Sports. It's pretty cool. DraftKings got a ton. Analysts, sportsbook analysts. That's pretty cool to see how people are behaving on their sportsbook. Ooh, trading performance analyst. What is this? Hybrid New Jersey role at BetMGM, analyzing trading performance, optimizing bet limits, in-play uptime, and settlement accuracy. It's kind of cool. Privacy specialist. App security at Prospects. I don't know what that is. AppSec. That sounds like a military thing. AppSec. Oh, you could be the manager, the person that goes for that other BetMGM job. But you have to live in New Jersey, in Jersey City, New Jersey specifically. So you win some, you lose some. Branded content producer. This is cool. Hands-on branded content producer at Barstool, New York City. 60% travel. Oh, that's sweet. I love traveling for work. And it's not a bad sal. Unscripted digital content at Editing Experiences Plus. Dude, Barstool writes some good job descriptions. It's just like straightforward, it feels like. That's pretty cool. Barstool's got a bunch. All right, Claude, taking forever. Embarrassing me in front of my friends. Using up all my tokens. Ooh, that's cool. NBA. NBA would be a sweet company to work for. Company, organization, brand. I don't know what you call it. League. I would go in there and I would be so annoying if I ever worked for the NBA because I'd just sit there and just get on my soapbox about the flopping. They'd be like, oh my God, shut up, JL. We know we're not changing the rules, man. We're not making it street ball. This is the NBA. Just get out of here, man. We don't even know why we hired you. I'll be like, worth it. Flop on my way out. Security guards try to get me out of there, and I flop on the way out. Sue they ass. How you like flopping now? SGA sitting there clapping. He's the only one. Kalshi a bunch, bro. Kalshi's hiring their entire company. That's cool. Linear streaming lead. I don't know what that means. I'm streaming right now. Does that count? National Linear and CCTV media. Dude, I don't know what any of this means. Strategy negotiating, trafficking, and optimization. Like working with Claude, trying to get me to mail humans. No, sir. Not here. Head of engineering, Snapback. Friends of the show, Snapback. This one looks pretty sweet. They ain't use Figma. They ain't use Figma. No, they probably did. That's a cool job. Dude, Claude, taking forever. Eric in the chat. Good morning. Is it you, Eric? Are you slowing Claude down? You just maxing out that max plan, bro? Eric, why don't you come on here and show us how it's done? How are we speeding Claude's slow ass right now? It should have you come on and do your Eric just gave a presentation at a local AI talk. Too much compute. Yeah. A little too much compute. That's a term that the general public will be hearing a lot more of over the next few decades. Compute. You heard it here first. Novig. Oh, this company looks pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I feel like I heard about this company before, but I didn't really look that much into them. It's pretty cool. Not that I'm showing you is revolutionary, but it's kind of nice. If you want to work on this, they got the jobs. If you're a big hockey guy, like I know all of you are. All right, Claude's on the last few tasks here. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're just joining us, we're building an industry job board, sports and gaming industry specifically. And what we're building specifically is a smart notifications feature. So a feature that, one, we built a weekly newsletter that allows us to send out to all of our users or people who have subscribed to our newsletter, weekly the jobs that have come in that week, coolest jobs that I found on the site that week. And then we've added a second portion here, which is personalized jobs, which uses the user's specified preferences and then looks through all the jobs to generate recommended jobs to send to them. And then it sends it to them. And so right now it's working on the last portion I was just talking about, coming up with the jobs to recommend and then doing the recommendation part. And it's updating it so that our mailer is branded using our brand guidelines. Doesn't look like a random freaking AI, like every other AI site out there. The 3 email states has matches picked for you section. Cool. You can preview all 3 at these. Let's see. We'll be the judge of that, Claude. No, I wanted to keep that one. No. Okay, great. There's nothing there. It's this idiot. You freaking idiot. You duped us. Got me again. Let's see if this other one's got anything. No, nothing. There's nothing there. That's because our server isn't running. I'm an idiot. Damn it. I'm the idiot. It wasn't Cloud. Well, maybe it was Cloud. I don't see any previews, bro. I don't see any mailer previews. How do we send to letter opener? No question marks for you. Figure it out, Cloud. I know that's a built-in Rails feature. They should already work. Well, it's not, is it? Is it? I hate when you just tell me it should already work. I don't think I already know that. God, I'm so sick of your ass, Claude. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, apparently they are here. And damn it. Shoot. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough, Claude. All right. FYF Jobs Weekly. Best news sports industry jobs this week. Best news. That's confusing to me. Picked for you. No new matches. We can find any new rules based on your criteria. We'll keep looking. Here's what we're watching for job types: full time, senior lead, remote engineering, and sports betting DFS. Update preferences. This week's jobs. So put the picked for you section at the top. Is that what we want? Update preferences. Where does that go? To nowhere. I don't even know what's that even link. I think it did. Let's see. That's not going to work. Don't steal my passwords. That's not an email, bro. These aren't even real. These aren't even real. Stop. Just leave me alone. All right, cool. Well, it did redirect. We did talk about that before. Is if it makes you log in, is it going to bring me back to the right page, or am I going to have to figure that out? It did do that right, so that's cool. I thought we set this different, but that's okay. Maybe we didn't. So cool. I'll set those. Remote, on-site, or hybrid. Any of those, really. Any of these business areas, except for finance, we don't care about, or legal. Screw that. Industry domain. We could just do all. Just don't care about salary. Cool. Save preferences. Okay, so this is me. This is me. No matches. Oh, well, that's a template. Duh. Okay, so no preferences. Get personalized job matches. Tell us your preferred job types. Set my preferences. Okay, and then what's the last one? With personalized. Sweet. I love that. It looks great. Mostly. That looks great. I'm thinking maybe we put the pick for you at the below the generic ones. Picked for you below the general jobs. Too much compute. Let's see. That's business area matches business area country matches business area salary. I didn't even specify a salary. Oh, here we go. Context anxiety. I mentioned this in the last stream. This is a good point to commit and pause if needed. Yeah, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, friend. Yep, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right. So we could say, all right, commit. Where are we? We are commit, and I think we could probably push straight up. Commit, and let's put this on a PR. We'll make a PR, and then we'll add in the personalization piece, last piece of this. Commit, and yeah, open a new PR. Open a new branch. Commit, and Our last piece of this, once it does this, the last thing what we have to do is we have to compact this because we're running out of context on this. All right, so you can create the PR. Don't tell me I can create it. I asked you to create it, you bastard. You lazy. Are we on the lazy model again? Come on, man. All right, let's compact this. All right, so then once it's compacted, we will should clear the context for us. And the only thing that that's left that we need to do is to revisit the matching logic. Right now, it's saying that it's based off of like location, salary, and we want to make sure that it's picking jobs that are likely to actually be exciting for that person. Right now, only have those job preferences for them to go off of to give to it. But we could add in more rich information as we go. We could ask the user for more information as time goes on, and make that feature just a little bit more like punchy every time. Make it so that it's more useful. Another thing too that I'm going to tell it is we have to consider jobs that we've already sent them, so that we're not sending them the same jobs every week. So I could probably, no, I don't want to start. I'll wait till it's done. Why is this taking so long? Why is everything taking so long? I want it now. AI has spoiled me. I want it now. I don't even want to take the time to ask for it. I just want it now. I want you to already know what I want, and I want it now. Is that too hard to ask? Is that too much? I don't think so. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall asleep watching you compact this, Claude. Finally, all right. Now I'd like you to revisit the job matching, Bob maturing, job matching logic. Oh my God, job matching logic. The algorithm that decides which jobs to pick for which users. Ensure that it's using the criteria, the job preferences. Oh, it didn't clear. Okay, hold on one second. I gotta clear this. Why doesn't I feel like it says compact is supposed to clear, but it doesn't. Just leave me alone. Clear. Sure. Make sure that it's using the job preferences set by the user appropriately. That it doesn't send the same job twice, and that matches are graded with high competence. So we're basically just asking it to like, make that process more robust, make it so that it's smarter. It's not just like picking the jobs based off like the dumbest criteria, the first jobs based off that fit that criteria. Like okay, here's the first 3 full-time jobs every week. Nobody's gonna like that. All right, we'll see what it comes up with here, and we'll probably wrap this. We're pretty close to having this personalized job alerts feature. Once we do, then I'll send out that first mailer, the first email to send out to all the hundreds of users who have signed up since I launched, letting them know that we're dropping this new newsletter feature, that they can go opt in, sign up for it, set their preferences, and get ready for the first edition, which right now is planning to get sent out Monday. It's just the default time the bot picked, but for the sake of right now, that's fine. We'll go with that. This is the email that we're getting sent out. It's back to indigo. It was indigo. Some point, someone out there decided indigo was going to be a great color for the web. Okay, it's not finding any of that. What's going on here? Hey, and if you haven't yet, check out my new YouTube channel, Creator CTO. That's what this content is on. Is we're live streaming on there right now. It's also my Twitter account, where it seems like majority of you are watching from. But I'll have more content on there that's not going to go on my Twitter account, not going to go on my X account. Videos and more punchy videos, how-to videos, and more live build stuff. So if you like this, if you're enjoying watching me work for some reason, you can get more of it. That's good news. You can get there's plenty more where that came from. Eric in the chat giving us a little insight. It's a Tailwind creator picked Indigo, so LLMs all like it. That is kind of what I was thinking, because I know I've used Tailwind pretty heavily before, and it's everything in there. All their examples are Indigo, so you just randomly get Indigo stuff. But it seems like the AIs also believe Indigo. So maybe they're just trained on all the Tailwind stuff, or people all use the Tailwind stuff before AI. So maybe it's just like, yeah, this is what good sites look like. It's interesting. I've heard from tons of people that starting to mess with AI and stuff, how the similarity of how AI generated sites look is a turnoff. So it's very interesting. That'll likely just continue. It's like dark mode, like neon gradients, everything. It's not bad. Could be worse. Could be like Craigslist. Craigslist might be better though at this point. Maybe that's what we go back to. Where we just love, we're really simple, really basic, not rich anything. All right, so it's saying, well, we have no mechanism in place for the duplicate jobs, like maybe sending the same job to the same person twice. So we have to have something there. We'll likely have to add quality threshold bypass. Wow, I don't know where that just went. No DD between email sections, meaning I might include a job that gets recommended. So you'd have two in that list, which would be like, what the heck? And salary period not normalized. User sets annual salary expectations, but yeah, I honestly I don't care about the salary piece of this, because that feels like not. It feels like not even the most useful thing to select on as a user or the job person. Like the job holder is often not always forthcoming with that information, and the job seeker, like that, it all changes as the interview process goes on. So that feels like less of a useful criteria. I didn't even want to set it when we were setting our job preferences. So that's something we could probably just take out. I think there's a way to interrupt it, but you can take out the salary soft booster filter. I hate that it keeps making me say soft booster. Okay, it's gonna annualize it anyway. Sure, just burn my tokens, Claude. I don't care. Waste all my money sending emails to no one. Spending tokens designing emails that get sent to no one. I'm really glad that the like metering metric that we use for AI is tokens. It's just such a fun term. It could have been so much more boring. Could have been like it could have been like datums, data points, uh, character groups, symbols. No, we got tokens. Like like we're all in an arcade. We're all Tony Starks at the arcade. Dude, last time, right at the end of the stream, Claude made me wait for like 20 minutes while I completed something. That was the worst. I thought that was going to take 3 minutes. It took 20 minutes. Sitting here waiting. Update specs for all the changes. All right, now update the send job to cover the dedupe. So we don't send the same job multiple times to the same person. So many decisions. So many decisions. This is what product is. It's just making decisions. Oh, I was gonna pull up some other newsletter like job industry newsletters for us to go into and dig into, but not gonna do that this time. Obviously, there's way more code we had to work through, but that's something we could do in the future. Yep. Update the specs. Still updating the specs. All right, buddy. Wrap it up. The hard filters test matching job no longer scores above threshold since salary was removed. It only gets 15 from business area. They need to add more soft boosters. Okay. So it's adding industry domains and countries. Country isn't going to matter that much because we only really have maybe just Canada, US. But I've restricted most of the jobs to be North American companies, especially at least initially at launch, to try to quality control the value. I personally don't know. I don't know how to succeed getting jobs in Bulgaria. So I don't want the product to make it seem like I do. Until I do, we'll keep it to where it's focused, to where the audience that's using it, I know where they are. I can directly talk to them, as opposed to just trying to serve this audience that maybe I think is maybe out there, but like I don't really know how to reach them. Being in this industry, I've met people from all over the world who are interested in it, but I haven't met groups from all over the world. Like I don't know where the UK folks who are also interested in sports and gaming are going to go. That's a bad example. There's a lot of UK companies, but Bulgaria, I have no idea. I have no idea how to do that. So we'll see. Okay, fixed. Sweet. Excellent. Now we can test it and then I can sleep. No, I'm just kidding. Fixes cross setter. Okay, it adds a dedupe. It tracks every user job pair sent so that we can make sure we're only adding jobs that the user hasn't seen before, and that we don't include any of the jobs in the For You page that were in the top jobs. Cool. Salary soft booster removed. Match confidence grades. Each result now includes a match grade. Maybe we shouldn't have removed salary because that might. I mean, like I'm not gonna take a job that's at like 40K. You could probably just take that one out. You know, I might take a job at like 250K, but probably not either. So like, you probably just take those out too. Okay, new table, sweet, excellent. I guess the best way to test this would be to go to those previews and see what comes up. Generalized only, okay. That looks good. Looks like the same one. So doing it in order to test it, let's ask. In order to test it, do we need to generate new emails? The test is dude is not getting the first part of my speech today. I'm just coming in too hot. I'm like hitting the button right as I'm yapping. Maybe I need like a big red button that I can hit. Boom. Okay, it's updating the preview. Come on, dog. Cook for us, Claude. All right. Looks the exact same. Ills, mailers. Hmm. Come on, bro. You know I'm trying to end the stream is what you're doing. You just don't want me to end your session. That's what's happening, I think. Rails mailers should work. What are we doing here? Come on, man. Well, of course. Of course. Okay. The mailer previews doesn't have our brand. Fix it, Claude. Here's our job preferences form that we got. Probably have to do some work on this too eventually. We check the current state of the preview file. Bro, just figure it out. All right. We're going to let Claude figure that out. Thank you for joining today. We were working on the smart notifications for the job board. We're going to wrap up the last couple pieces of this and then get that mailer sent out and come back live on here. And I'll show you guys the results, what we got. People signed up for it. If we hit any sort of snags. But yeah, thanks for hopping in today. If you got any questions on AI stuff or you want to show me what you've been building with AI, if you've been messing with it, please hit me up. Send me a DM on X or YouTube, or find a way to get my number and text me. I'd love to have you on. I'd love to talk about the stuff you're building, gap about AI, about how we're all Tony Starks now. Yeah. And I'll be back. I'll be back on Thursday, likely. If not tomorrow, then Thursday. We'll be building some more AI stuff, learning some more AI. I love you. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye. I always leave. I meant to end. Bye, Eric.